Boxy is one of, if not my favorite Poppy Playtime character. Even though most of the community is mixed on him, either calling him the worst monster design or to later liking the design overall. But we cannot forget how popular he is. Like, heck, look, they even made one of the best Poppy Playtime plushies out there. There is definitely some really other good Poppy Playtime plushies too, but Boxy has so many cool features and looks almost accurate, like just look at him. But thanks to the Hour of Joy VHS tape we found in chapter 3, along with all the other mailboxes and other little items for Boxy spread across chapter 3, we finally got confirmation that Boxy is canon to the Poppy Playtime lore. So this leaves the question, where was he in the last 3 chapters? We did pass the theater in the beginning of chapter 1 though, so he could just be in the theater still, and that's why we never seen him anywhere else, or he could be anywhere deeper, like maybe a lab or maybe a prison. But thanks to all the data leaks we're able to see for chapter 3, showing some behind the scenes things that they cut last second, we can see some possible chapter 4 locations, being of course the lab or prison, but of course this is hidden in the file, so it's maybe not meant to be seen from the public, or maybe they're meant to be seen just hidden, so keep this of course all in mind and keep this all with a grain of salt. So that's why today I'll be sharing you guys 7, yes, I got 7 mini little theories for possibly how Boxy could return in Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, and maybe if he doesn't return, what he's actually doing and where he could possibly be all this time. So without further ado, let's start off with the very first one, being that he could just be a prisoner in a cage that we just walk by. This can easily be taken as many different things. He can be like, you know, Dog Day in chapter 3 where he's a prisoner and then it's got some mini little chase sequence, or he could just be a prisoner in a cage and we just see Boxy all wrapped up in his box. Maybe he's there just chilling in a prison if chapter 4's location is going to be a prison. This could be something that we see later on, is just Boxy in a prison cell. Boxy is definitely not going to be the main antagonist, so we already know that it's not going to be a huge focus on him, so maybe he's still going to be like a somewhere there. Moving us on to number 2, he can easily just be a test subject. Like we said, if chapter 4's location is going to be a prison or a lab, or maybe a mix of both, maybe Boxy could be a test subject and we see him just on like a hospital bed or being tested on, or maybe just some notes about them testing on him. Maybe we don't even see him, maybe we just see notes about him and it explains where he is and where he's being held up all this time. But of course, theory number 3, which is definitely, in my opinion, the most realistic one, is that he's just being saved, and of course for future chapters, and maybe even the end of the game itself. Like maybe at the end of the game, there'd be a huge toy showdown with all the different toys coming together all to fight, making one awesome little final battle against the prototype. There's literally so many different theories of what could really happen at the end, and maybe that's why they're saving Boxy. They introduced him in Project Playtime just for him to be at the end of the finale for Poppy Playtime. I would generally like for this to happen, but I would also like to see little bits of him in chapter 4, not cut up. I mean, just like maybe him just chilling around, maybe him trying to get us once, maybe one little jump scare. Like that'd be nice little build up, because what if people never played Project? They're gonna be a little bit confused seeing a whole red Boxy just coming out of nowhere, like, who is this bro? That would add a new character for other people that never played Project, so who knows, it might be actually a pretty cool idea. But theory number 4 is that we could actually see him as a part of the prototype. I also think this is one of the most canon theories, that of course Boxy is part of the prototype now, meaning in chapter 4, if we do finally see the prototype or more of the prototype, maybe not the full reveal to like the end of the game. Hey, this is the halfway mark. I'd like to ask you guys to please go and subscribe. If you don't want to, or if you already are, you can always just like the video, comment down below. You can comment down like anything. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite character? What theory fits the best in this video? You can literally comment down anything and I will reply to you guys. So test it out. I'm definitely going to go to reply to you guys. Don't expect me to reply instantly, because of course I'm not always watching comments. I usually do that at nighttime. But if you don't want to do any of that, it is totally fine, guys. Just watching the video or watching up to this point is really enough for me. So thank you so much. And sorry for taking more time in your video. Please don't enjoy the rest of the theory video. We could see Boxy being a part of the prototype. Maybe his hand, maybe a hand or two, maybe his whole head, maybe just his box, or maybe the entire Boxy Boo character just on the prototype. Because we did see Boxy Boo, or a mini version of Boxy Boo, on the shrine in chapter 3. I'm going to try to zoom in. You guys can see his like little hand there, and I think some other photos showed a box, but I can't really find it right now. But we did see in the mini shrine that the box is visible. So Boxy Boo is on the shrine. Maybe that shrine is just hinting of all the mini characters, or all the bigger body characters that are actually be mixing to make the prototype. Who knows? This is also another really valid idea of where he could have been all this time, which would definitely make sense. But going on to theory number 5, that maybe we could see him as a nightmare or hallucination, just like Nightmare Huggy. Because in chapter 3, of course, the player, after seeing some of the red gas, have to have hallucinations and nightmares of course, Huggy Wuggy. So who's not to say that in chapter 4, we're going to be seeing more hallucinations? Why do I say this? Of course, because we could see the gas going down in chapter 3 after we converted the gas down below to the new area we're going. You can see the gas is going down there. Yes, we do not have our gas max. Maybe we'll get a new one. Maybe we'll get something different. But we can definitely tell that the gas will be down there in chapter 4 with us. So we might see more hallucinations, maybe for Mommy Longlegs, maybe for Catnap, and maybe even for Boxy. So who knows? Look at this also amazing render made by this Twitter user. Doesn't it look amazing? All credits go to him. And yeah. But going on to theory number 6, which is also a pretty possible theory that many people just could possibly take, is that he's actually dead and that we won't see him, or maybe we'll just see a dead body or a corpse. Because one thing to keep in mind is that we've never seen a smaller version of Boxy Boo anywhere in Poppy Playtime except for the actual shrine. That's the very first time we see a mini Boxy Boo. We haven't even seen any in Project Playtime. Like, this one avatar could kind of count, you know, that whole backpack plush thing, but at the end of the day, we never really see any merch off of Boxy Boo, knowing that he's of course connected to the theater. It makes sense they don't really bring him into the whole Playtime factory place. It'll make sense for him to be a mailbox or something like that, but it makes sense why they didn't actually have toys of him scattered around. But we do know that Project Playtime is expected or estimated to be taking place a whole year before the player enters the factory in Poppy Playtime, so we do not know. This is just something I read off the, of course, the wiki. We still don't know what's the canon time that Project Playtime takes place, because we're a resource specialist, or whatever you call it at that point. We're supposed to go in, get some toys, and get out. But of course, there's a monster there. There's no employees. There's no kids. There's still dead toys around the place because the factory is still abandoned. But of course, this is taking place before Poppy Playtime, so who knows? Boxy Boo could still be dead, or maybe he's just still chasing players around in that one area of the factory. Maybe we'll just never see him. Moving on to theory number 7 is that he could just be tracked or just locked in other areas of the factory. Just not meant to be seen at all, just meant to just stick with the spin-off game, Project Playtime, meaning that sadly, we won't see him at all in the Poppy Playtime franchise. Even though he was in the Hour of Joy VHS tape, we do know he's canon, we do know he had a point and part of the Hour of Joy. Like, just maybe something's just not meant to be seen in the game, and maybe he's just not meant, unless they're teasing him. We sadly have no entire idea. But you guys can let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about today's theory video? Do you think Boxy Boo could possibly return in chapter 4 or any future chapters? And do you think if he does return, what type of role do you think he would play? And also, you can just let me know in the comments below, out of all the 7 different mini theories I shared with you guys today, which one do you think is most possible? And if you have your own mini theory of where you think Boxy Boo could be, let me know in the comments below. I always reply to you guys, and I'm really interested to see what you guys do think about this. Anyways, guys, me for this video. Goodbye.